Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively, and I have a story for you. So all good videos start with a story, right? So when we went to Backstage in Las Vegas in November, we all got t-shirts. And I wear t-shirts a lot. This is one of my Stamp It Up t-shirts that I have on now. But sometimes like this makes me crazy and I want to do something else with it, like I want a v-neck. Well, we got our t-shirts and then we went to this event, and up on stage, Sarah Douglas, our CEO, I'm like, oh, what did she do to her shirt? And she had cut the collar off and she had shortened it and she had done something with the sleeves. And when we ran into her later, I said, tell me about that shirt. She said she couldn't stand it, so she cut it up. So now the joke is, when I Sarah something, I Sarah'd a shirt, that same shirt. I came home and did the same thing and loved it. I've done it with a couple of other t-shirts that when I buy them and this kind of makes me crazy. This one's real soft, so it's okay, but sometimes it just makes me nuts. So I'll Sarah something. So this is a card that I Sarah'd. That's why you started with that story. So Sarah did a video with the stamp set last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. You can look on her the Stampin' Up website, and Sarah does these videos on Tuesdays. And I thought this card was cute, but after I saw Sarah's card, I wanted to do this card. So I Sarah'd a friend with a birthday card that looks like this. Is that not cute? So it is 10.5 by 5. And you score it 3.5 and then flip it over and score it at 3.5. But that is, so my girlfriend, so if you are my friend who's going to get this card, you know it's a Sarah Douglas original that was copied by me, so you were Sarah'd. Okay, let me show you what we're doing today. So I like to make my things personal, if I can. Like a lot of times when I make a card, I have someone in mind, or I think it's a good design for a specific thing. This one I liked, and I did a video a couple of weeks ago with this, which you can go back in my videos and look at. But it's very similar to the design that I'm doing today now that I look at it. I used the little hashy things around, I'm grateful for you, and then I cut out that flower and mounted it, if you can see that. So I 3D'd it. But there's a video so you can see how I did that. I have a granddaughter, Willow. Willow, this is for you. She loves these mushrooms. So I wanted to do a mushroom card for sweet Willow. And so I did this. And I 3D'd those mushrooms. And I'll show you how I did it. In fact, I just picked this up and I haven't even adhered it all. So I'm going to use my snail and put this one together. Then I'm going to make it again. I'm going to put this on. I didn't want it straight. This one says enjoy the journey. So let me show you how I did that. First, I took my vanilla, and it is, for those of you who like measurements, 3 by 3 3/4. And then my stamp pads are Lemon Lime Twist, Real Red, and Early Espresso. So I stamped my mushrooms on my card. I have my, make sure I didn't put it back. Sometimes I lose my mind. Yes, it's back in here. Because I'm like, what did I do with the words? So I have my enjoy the journey across the bottom. Then I took a piece of crumb cake and I just took a scrap. If you've never done this before, I'm going to manipulate this so I separate it so that it's textured. So you can see this is like the fuzzy insides. So my mushrooms are fuzzy. which makes them look way more realistic than the other way. And so to do that, all I need to do is break down the fibers in this paper. So I'm going to take my bone folder and go back and forth to break down these fibers. See how it's wrinkling? You see that? I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times. You know, the multi-use tool, right? Then I'm going to peel this back. And our cardstock's thick enough that it will separate. So can you see the texture I'm creating? And that's really all I need is this piece here. Because I'm going to take my mushrooms again and just stamp them right in here. Then I'm going to cut them out. And I'm not going to make you watch me, and I don't have enough music, cutting music. So we'll just pretend you watched me, and I'm going to pause it and be right back. So these mushrooms, I'm just going to cut out. See how fast I was? So now I've got my mushrooms stamped on here in espresso. I took my crumb cake and we pulled it in half, and I stamped on the fuzzy side, and here's the mushroom caps, and now we're going to adhesive them on. I found when I was doing this before that a little bit of glue went a long way at sticking these on kind of around the edges. So I went ahead and put my adhesive on. This top one, I'm going to stick a couple of glue dots under because I want it raised just a little bit. I'm just going to stick a couple glue dots up there. And I'm going to layer them so it's thick, but I want it to stick. I don't want it as tall as a dimensional. I tried a dimensional and it was just too thick. So I kind of have a wad of glue dots up there. If you don't understand any of the methods to my madness, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm always happy to get back with you. So now I'm going to lay my mushrooms on here. Willow's in kindergarten. They were studying mushrooms and she just thought they were the bomb. And it's funny because, you know, I grew up and they were a super cool thing too. And I went out to, I had to look for something for my dad. And lucky me, I did Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann's all in the same day, looking for something when it's been forever since I've done that. And mushrooms were everywhere for the spring, so little Miss Willow will be super excited. She can mushroom everything. So I'm sticking these all down. Aren't you glad you didn't have to watch me cut too? Okay, now this one's going on. Now all my little mushroom tops are in place, and I want to change the colors of the stems a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see me a little better. The problem is when I zoom, I also have to adjust a few other things. So there I am zoomed in. You can see my mushroom tops and how they're a little bit different. So I just took my water painter and I'm just going to make sure it has a little bit of water coming out. Look, I have this cute little thing here. I can do it on there. We have the sides that say press. So I'm going to make sure I got a little bit of water coming out. I'm not going to need much. This espresso is one of those colors. It's dark enough I can go over this really lightly on the edges and just get a little of that color to bleed I don't want to make it too wet because I don't want my, can you see this? See how it's kind of blending? Just changing those colors of those stems just that very little bit. I feel like for some reason I'm kind of dark here. I don't know why. It's sunny, so I shouldn't be. Okay, then I wanted to go over the tops a little bit and kind of bleed this bottom where it's a little bit darker. If you've ever seen one of these mushrooms in the wild, they're darker on the bottom. And in the wild doesn't really mean just at Hobby Lobby. They have some really cute ones, or Joann's. We live in the woods, and so there's lots of these that hang out here. Okay. So can you see that? I'm going to move this a little bit this way to see if it's a little lighter. Can you see that? So it's changed it just a little bit, and it's darkened these stems just a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, now let's do the fun part. So when I was out looking and I saw all of these everywhere, they had some with just some fun colors. So I wanted to put some fun colors. Move this out. Do it this way. When I adjusted it, I must have also twisted it. Oh, see my piles of stuff back here? There's the Sarah card, there's a drink. There you go. And I already got red from my fingers. Oh, look what I did. That's not blood, that's ink. That's what we do. So I'm going to start. It comes with these cute little hash marks. So I'm going to do some red little hash marks. And now nobody can see my smear. There's that. I'm going to take my little white. This is that Stampin' Up! Glass Mat Studio. It's fantastic. If you want to join my team, become a demonstrator, it's an amazing product you can get this month. Today's February 1st, so it's February now. So I wiped that mess up, and now I'm going to go, and that was Real Red. So we used Real Red for that. Espresso for the mushrooms, and then this is Lemon Lime Twist. And if you say, why did you use those colors, I can honestly tell you just because I liked them. So now I'm going to add some. Felt very springy to me. Not that we're anywhere close to spring, I feel like, but I liked it. So there's my mushrooms. I'm gonna wipe this off again. I mean, it wipes off so easy. It's well worth signing up to be a demonstrator so you can make sure you have that. So I told you this was 3 by 4. This is just a smidge bigger, and it's the Lemon Lime Twist. And I measure it by laying my vanilla on top and cutting it just a little bit bigger. So there's that. Then I'm going to, here's my espresso, and I ran it through, there's a set of online exclusive 3-pack of embossing folders. And it's the same one I used on the back of this one because I felt like it matched those hash marks really well. So I'm going to put this on here, not straight, because why be straight unless someone's going to make you? I'm going to fold this, and this is crumb cake. And it's not cut straight, or it's not folded straight. Here we go. So I'm going to seal this down. And I can't obviously even put the card down straight. That base must be cut crooked. That's probably my problem. So with this card, I use these cork rounds, which are in the mini. This is in the January to June mini, so I want to use those cork rounds again on this. Because I like them, and they look very natural. I mean, how many is too much? Is that a thing? One more big one over here. Okay, so there it is with the cork on it and my little raised textured mushrooms. You can see it so much better in person than you can on camera. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. Again, the set is Inspirational Sketches. Love it. And then here's the other one. This video is on my YouTube channel. You can find it. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. Have a good one. Bye.